Welcome to the 7-Day YouTube Challenge. I'm calling 7 days to build that business. Today, I'm really excited for the lead generation funnel. This can be a scary topic. This can be very overwhelming. There's a lot of steps, and in big companies, there are people that literally their only job is to work on top of funnel or bottom of funnel. By the end of today, I want you to have specific actionable strategies that you know, like this is what I'm gonna do for the next 30 days. And you're gonna be able to go out and do this, and you're gonna have the understanding behind the scenes on why you're doing this and how you're creating this plan for yourself. If you haven't done so yet, I have a link down below for a 7-day checklist. I really want you to check that out. Today we are on day 3. So if you haven't done so already, please go back and watch day 1 and day 2. Day 1 was all about creating the business idea, figuring out our target audience, our brand's mission, and our tone and voice. So basically creating the full identity of our business so that you can go into like the branding and get your colors and your website and everything taken care of. Day 2, we really touched on the business model, figuring out the different revenue streams, how we're making money, when we're making money, and what that entire process would look like for the short term and the long term. So what the heck is a lead generation funnel? Well, it's a visual representation of how a business can generate leads and the process to turn them into clients. Kind of looks like this. Now what you'll see here is this kind of includes everything. It may not just be a lead generation funnel, but you've got the marketing side in the wider part of the funnel, and then you've got the sales side right at the bottom. So the sales are obviously the part where you are talking directly to these prospects and you are trying to get them to close. So they are definitely gonna be further down the pipeline because you wanna only get people that are really serious. At each step of the process, you are filtering out the people that are not serious buyers, and ideally at the end, you're only left with really good leads that you can talk to and close. But today we're only gonna focus on 3 stages to keep things really simple. You don't need a million steps here as you're starting out because again, simplicity is the best. Number 1, we're gonna start with awareness. This is the stage where people just become aware of you, right? They see your name somewhere and that's considered awareness. Number 2 is interest or consideration. This is where they're kind of making a decision. They wanna learn more about who you are, what you do, what you have to offer, and then they decide whether or not they are interested in learning more. And number 3 is our lead capture and our convert. So this is where no sale has taken place quite yet, but they have given you something in exchange for, the information or the interest, right? And it's usually an email or a phone number. This part of the funnel is really just focusing on getting the email address or the phone number of that person so that the sales team can then call them, schedule an appointment, pitch them, and then close them. Within awareness, what are the different ways that we can make people aware of you? Let's list out a couple of tactics that we can do so that we can try to bring awareness to us, who we are, what we do, what we've got to sell, because if they don't know about you, they can't buy from you. So here are 2 columns and we're gonna create this chart. One side is gonna be outbound and one side is inbound. Outbound, you are going out and putting your information in front of that person. Inbound is where they are coming to you, basically. They've heard about you through some way and they are coming to you. So in outbound, some of the most simplest ones are door-to-door sales, cold emails, or cold calls. I worked at Yelp where we had a headset for 4 years and I had to dial 90 dials a day just to get some appointments. And so it was really interesting because you learn a lot in that environment. Cold calling is a very real thing. Sometimes it's annoying, but it can really benefit you. Direct mail is all the things that we get in our mailbox, right? Social DMs. This is where you are sending a message to a company or a person. Local event networking. I think this is really helpful because you're face to face with these people and you can have a real conversation and develop a relationship with these people. LinkedIn Sales Navigator. If you are on the B2B side, LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a great tool. You do have to pay for a subscription here, but it's really helpful and it does a lot of research for you so that you can have that information and you can send messages through LinkedIn. You can purchase a leads list. I don't technically recommend this. I'd recommend just creating your own list yourself. We can create targeted ads. I think this is something people do once they're a little bit more experienced. I do recommend being specialized in this, so you may want to get an agency or someone to help you with this, and you do need to have a set budget. The other thing is influencer marketing. If you've got a cool product that could do really well, you could find some TikTok influencers. This is very real for small businesses, and you can try to get your product out to them and then they can market it for you. On the inbound side, we've got referrals. Usually this is good if you already have a bigger clientele, if you've got some case studies, if you've got some testimonials, this would be a really good option. Lead magnets. This is what we are going to talk about today, but basically it's a magnet to attract a lead. It's something, if you've ever seen something really cool online and you're like, oh, I'll put my email address there. Hence my checklist, my 7-day checklist down below in the description. That is all about trying to capture your lead information so that I can try to send you an email and have that information so I can contact you further. Completely open and honest, transparent here. But lead magnets are really helpful. You do need to have something that people are needing, right? Whether it's like a free template or a free step-by-step guide, something like that that you can really help them with. Social media marketing. This is going to be a lot of the social media content that we have day to day. You know it well, you're on it. SEO on your website. Make sure that everything in there is keyword rich, that you are popping up on Google, but this is the long game. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, and it's really hard to control, especially at the beginning. So the more blog posts that you write, the more keywords you have even in your file images and things like that, those are going to play a part in getting you on Google. This is the long game. Facebook and Google ads can be really helpful in trying to deliver your lead magnet to people. You can create webinars and workshops. You can do this online, but you can also do this in person. The thing I've noticed with a lot of digital marketing is, yes, it's important. We got to have our presence out there in digital marketing, but I also think a good way to stand out, especially in the beginning, is to go local. When you go local by going to events, networking, maybe it's like a workshop with a certain industry and you create a face-to-face relationship with these people, that's a lot easier to get a sale than trying to do ads online and talking to a million people in the internet. So really try to tweak a lot of your outreach and a lot of your lead generation efforts into something that's more localized, because local people would rather work with local people for the most part, especially because it makes you stand out to them. Lastly, we have email marketing. Now this is great because once you download the lead magnet, you get put into a marketing funnel and you can do email marketing sequences and automation to deliver that message to people. The nice thing about this is you control your list. You have a direct line of communication with them rather than social media, which could be gone tomorrow or they could delete their account at any point. It does require some experience in knowing how to do it right. Out of everything that we touched on here today, I want you to pick two from the outbound and two from the inbound. Choose the ones that are going to be the simplest, easiest ways for you to get in touch with people. I do recommend lead magnets and social media marketing. On the outbound side, the easiest probably, which I'm going to do because I think it's extremely important, is to get in front of the faces of these people and talk to them and learn more about them, and do that through local events. And you'll be surprised what kind of relationships you can build that way. And another way is cold emails or cold calling. If you're working with businesses, this will be a little bit easier. You can try to find the email information or even getting LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And then it's just a matter of learning how to write the right cold email and get them to click on it, get them to open it and respond to you. So those are probably going to be the easiest ones to just get started with right away. So now let's go to MOFU, the middle of the funnel. This is what we call the interest stage or the consideration stage. Remember, this is when they learn about you, but they have to still make that decision whether or not this is something they need or want, and whether it's worth giving you their valuable currency of their email address. Sometimes this can be really quick. This can be as quick as them seeing the link, clicking on it, putting in their email because they want that free template. Other times you're gonna have to nurture them, and that's gonna be through email marketing, which is a little bit more of a long game. But here are some strategies that you guys can do to nurture them further and try to get that information from them during this stage. In this stage, you're gonna have social content. Content marketing is gonna be definitely a priority in this stage because the more they see your face, they're gonna figure out if they can know, like, and trust you. Email list. We mentioned it before with the email marketing, but in this stage, it is important that you do have an email list because that's how you're gonna control your message out there. You're gonna promote your products. You're gonna talk about the struggles and the values that you bring to the table to work with these people. The free resources, your lead magnets, are all part of this consideration phase. Your webinars, workshops, this is online or in person as well. Your email campaigns, your product demos, maybe you give a free trial or a demo of a software. If you have a chatbot on your website, which I know is all the rage now, everyone has them, you can kind of have a conversation with that chatbot and kind of guide you through that person's website. You can showcase your testimonials, your reviews, create a case study that you're gonna show people the story of someone working with you and the success they had. But basically what you need to know about with this middle of the funnel section is once I send them a cold email and I try to schedule an appointment with these people, what am I gonna do if they say no? If they say no in that moment, or if they just ignore it and they don't even respond to me. So figuring out a good way to get them to click on another email, right? And sometimes it's gonna take you 5 or 10 touch points with someone before you actually get a yes, let's schedule an appointment. And even after that, getting the appointment is only half the battle, because now you need to create a pitch, your proposal, and they could still say no, and you still wanna nurture them because later down the road they could say yes again. They could say no a lot, and you need to have a game plan on what happens when they do say no. Do you just move on to the next person, or do you come back to them with more value? The last step of this is the convert. This part, like I said, there's no sale that's happened quite yet because we are just generating leads. At this point, it's really exciting. You got their information, you can talk to them further. I do recommend keeping your forms really, really simple and short, making it just their name and their email address, maybe their phone number, but you have to think about it this way. If you come across something yourself online, how willing are you to give someone your phone number in exchange for that? There are some things you may want really, really bad, like a done for you template or a free trial, and you even put in your credit card information for a free trial. Think about it from that lens. Like, would you do the same thing you're asking your lead or your potential lead to do, and work from there? So what kind of value can I give them that I would think is really valuable and really cool or helpful to guide me in this direction, and take it from that lens. So at this point, we've talked about what the lead generation funnel looks like, what the different stages are, as well as the sales strategy for each of these steps. The goal of the lead generation funnel, again, is to capture the lead's information so that you can schedule a call with them and have that one-on-one conversation where you can sell them what you have to offer. Even as quick as tomorrow, you can start creating content and putting your face out there, create a lead magnet if you need to, or go to a networking event and meet people and create this list. I hope that really helps. Again, please download my lead magnet down below, my 7 days to build that business checklist. That's gonna help guide you through everything we've talked about today, as well as the rest of this YouTube challenge that we've got going on. If you haven't done so yet, feel free to take a look at day 1 and 2, and stick around for day 4, because tomorrow we are mapping out the customer journey. And I think that this part is really commonly missed by most people. And it's really important because you gotta know where these people that you're selling to hang out, what they like talking about, what they like doing, what they like in their spare time. You gotta know your person inside and out if you're gonna sell to them. All right, thanks so much for sticking around. I will see you in tomorrow's video for day 4.